Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Before we start this video, I would just like to congratulate Space Mom's team for really doing a great job in Warframe. The game is 11 years old and counting, and the new team made a lot of improvement in Warframe that made the game better. The best so far is Warframe reworks and quality of life changes. In fact, Warframes that are considered in the past as not so great are now competing at the top of the meta spot. And in this video, I would like to share two amazing Warframes that are great example of how great the add-ons and changes that the new Warframe team is doing right now. The first Warframe I would like to talk about is Mirage. By the way, this Warframe has a new Lunar New Year skin right now, and so far, it's one of the best fashion frame I have used for this Warframe. But we are not here for just the skin, as Mirage received huge changes that made the Warframe superb. The most notable one is when Digital Extremes finally decided to give Eclipse the quality of life changes that it deserved. Now, you have the control to either use the weapon damage buff or the damage reduction buff of the Warframe. The skill is not light dependent anymore, and the damage buff is really insane that every weapon that Mirage will use get a chance to do millions of damage. The only problem I have with this Warframe right now is that the weapon buff is just too good that I don't usually use the damage reduction. Aside from Eclipse, Mirage don't have any reliable survivability tool, and while this is not a huge issue, but it's problematic for me, especially when I'm doing solo runs. The damage buff is so good, but Mirage is too squishy. Well, not until the developers added Kume, which lets us subsume her budget Mesmer skin. Omamori is a skill that allows you to summon sacred charms that gives you 50% of negating any incoming damage. Basically, a hit can heal your Warframe instead of damaging it as long as you have Omamori charms. As a subsume skill, you will have a chance to get a max of 20 Omamori charms, but you can't take advantage of the dice roll mechanic wherein triple success will grant you invulnerability for a set duration. Despite this, the subsume skill is still reliable as it also has a hidden mechanic wherein if your Warframe is at full health when negating an attack, the Omamori skill will give your frame shields that can overflow into overshields. Usually I pair this with the Sentinel that can equip the Shield Charger or the Guardian mod. This helps your Warframe abuse the shield gating mechanic, and on top of that, you have Omamori that hinders any incoming damage. This is a perfect survivability setup, and it allows me to focus on increasing the weapon damage of Mirage. Right now, I have maxed out the damage buff by using this build, but I also added range for the total eclipse so that my allies can also receive the damage buff. By the way, the adaptation is great as it also works with shield, adding to your overall survivability, but it's only optional and you can add more power strength on this build by using transient fortitude. In addition, I also tried a couple of arcanes to power boost my Mirage, but it seems that Molt Augmented is the best. The new arcane called Arcane Crepuscular does work if you equip companions like the Huras Kubro and the Shade Sentinel, which have mods that make your Warframe invisible. However, it's not that dependable, and the final power strength you get from Molt Augmented is higher compared to the new Warframe 1999 Arcane. I also added 5 red Tauforge Archon shards to further increase the weapon damage of my Eclipse. This build is great in steel pot levels and beyond, and it's special in boss fights, such as the new Everborn tank in Warframe 1999 update. The damage buff of Eclipse really makes any weapon that I use with Mirage OP, and the Omamori charm is just so reliable when it comes to survivability. In fact, I can say that this is my perfect Mirage build when it comes to weapon damage buffing, and this is super fun to play with the newcomer meta right now. The next Warframe I would like to talk about is one of my favorite, and it's Zephyr. Back in the past, I really enjoy Zephyr with a gas combo. The damage of the element becomes insane when you combine it with Zephyr's fourth ability. Zephyr and her allies can attack each tornado to distribute 100% total damage, including critical hits and status effects from weapons and abilities to all enemies trapped within a tornado. Critical damage dealt to enemies trapped within a tornado is multiplied by 2 times, hence making it a great DPS ability overall. The elemental damage that Zephyr's Tornado deals is insane, that it can let you one-hit enemies like the Sister of Parvos in the Belly of the Beast event right now. It can also kill other boss enemies in one blow like Archons and even special units such as the Necramech in Disruption mission. Once you put the tornado and you hit enemies with your weapons, the damage dealt to the enemies become insane that it can potentially hit them in one shot. It was super fun to play this Warframe when Zenestar was a thing, as you can drop the disc with any corrosive, viral, or gas near the tornado, and once enemies get caught by it, they will just die instantly. Also, Trumna Prime is really a great synergy as the kills from Tornado allows you to charge and use the unique trait of the gun. The wildest Zephyr combo right now is turning the Warframe into a melee god with the nuke hammers. The damage of a slam hammer gets multiplied by a Zephyr's Tornado, allowing you to bypass even the crazy feature imposed by Digital Extremes on some bosses, which is called the damage attenuation. Right now, I have two build variants for Zephyr. One is with the Omamori Subsume ability, and the other one is with Sata's Whisper, especially for the nuke combo. You might wonder why I have the Omamori in my Zephyr, since she already has good survivability with Turbulence. The fact is, Turbulence only gives you protection against projectiles in the game, and in some boss fights, you'll end up dying on those status effects and other incoming damage. Just like Mirage, Omamori gives Zephyr a solid survivability, especially against those melee enemies rushing towards you. On the other hand, Sata's Whisper is all about increasing the DPS of the Zephyr's Tornado plus Nuke Hammer combo. Aside from the fact that void damage is a true neutral damage in Warframe, Sata's Whisper also provide extra hit even if used with melee weapons such as the Slam Hammer setup. It's really potent when used with Melee Affliction and the Sampote's Hammer, and it gets overpowered with Zephyr's Tornado. However, do take note that the extra hit per damage instant does not provide extra melee combo. Nonetheless, the extra hit damage gives more DPS to your Tornado setup, hence making Zephyr one of the best DPS Warframe in the game right now. Honestly, I'm very happy that old Warframes are getting a lot of spotlight in the game, not just because of the amazing reworks, but also because of the new powers added in Warframe on each update. In fact, some Warframes did not receive a decent rework, but they eventually climbed the meta because of new subsume abilities, arcanes, or mods added in the game. I just hope that other old Warframes will get the same treatment, and right now, I am very excited on what will they do to the upcoming changes they announced for Ash. Also, I am hoping for some Oberon changes, and I'm crossing my fingers that we will see a good rework for this Warframe this year. So that's all about it. I hope that you find this video informative. Before leaving, I humbly ask for your support again by simply liking the video and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Quad Leader signing off.